Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and we're going to do a little bit of work in our little Wanderlust journals that we created. And I wanted to share, let me turn off the autofocus. It's always something I forget. One day, maybe. I have journaled my pages, and I was just going to show you what that looked like. And I might come in a little bit closer. There we go. And now I'm all blurry. I need to give it something. Good morning, Kathy D. Now it doesn't want to focus at all. Awesome. All right, so I might have to put autofocus back on. I'm sorry, because it's just not wanting to do. I just updated my operating system too, so maybe that's causing us some problems. Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to leave the autofocus on. We'll go for the best we can. We're going to do some of the activities in this, but not all of them. And I'm going to share what my journal looks like now. And we're going to do some of this make the first mark activities that are in here. And I'm only going to do a few things in the book on 5 pages. And hi, Mary Lou and Mina. We're going to work on 5 pages in here. And I'll go get me some, or put a paper clip or something on the 5 pages. I'll figure out how I'm going to mark them. But what I did is I had white gesso, clear gesso, black gesso. And I've just gone through my book. So here's some white gesso. This has got clear gesso on it. Back to white. And this is black from bleeding through where I did some black pages here. And there was a hole in the notebook paper. So I got some interesting bonus showing up there. And because I used all kinds of paper, I've got some wrinkling. I used my heat gun to speed things up, so it bubbled here and there. And we're just calling that extra texture. We're not going to worry about it. Got paint over from one page to the next. This is all about breaking your art journal in anyway. So it's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to have things flowing from one page to the next. And I have 2 signatures. There's 7 pages in each one. And here's the second signature. And when you put the gesso on the thinner paper, it makes it more durable. Because back here, I even have a piece of tracing paper. And it's got clear gesso on this side and black gesso on this side. And what you see here is another thing they said to do is to abuse your journal. And what I did is I threw 3 wet tea bags in here, and then I took it out on the porch and I squished it really hard, and then I left it on the porch overnight. And that's how I got the tea marks here and there on only 3 pages, of course. So this is what your journal will look like after you've put the gesso on. Now, if you don't have all the different colors of gesso, just go through with whatever you have. There's a little bit of some tea bag marks there. So what I was thinking is we would do at least 1 page of black on black. And what we're going to do is another thing is you need to work in random places. So I'm going to choose this as a page here, and then we'll skip back a ways, maybe do this black page, and then maybe jump to the second section and do like 3 pages in that. But I do want to try to go onto pages in the different gessos. So I've got, this is a clear, a black, a white, and maybe we'll do on this tissue and brown paper together here. But first thing you do is you're going to go through and do on your 5 pages. You need to use something that's kind of water soluble. So a graphite pencil, watercolor pencils, watercolor markers or crayons, you just want to stay away from anything to do with that has wax in it. You don't want to put any wax down right now. So what I have is these US Scents watercolors. I got these off Amazon, and you're supposed to pick a color theme, but I'm going to leave all that information left in the book. If you want to learn all of that, you can. I'm just going to grab some random colors is what I'm going to do, just to break those 5 pages in. So let me see if I can find something that I can mark my pages. I had some little tabby things here. Here we go. Here we go. So once I do the step, I'll put a little tab on. These are those little posty tabs, and that'll keep us straight. Good morning, Peg. Good morning, Teresa. Congratulations on the new baby in your life. Teresa, that is. I'm just going to do blue on here, and you do anything you want, whatever you're feeling. Make marks like this. Just scribble. You can stop, and if you want to, do some areas like this, just random. You don't want to be perfect. And if you think about it, this is going to be water soluble. So anything you add wet later, I'm going to call that page good. This is to get you into doing a little something every day. And I think Gina Ahrens has been doing daily art practice. All right, so here's a black page, and I think there is a white pencil in here. So use whatever you have. And I'm just doing random. And then we'll jump back. We've done what? We did, I've even forgotten. This is a white gessoed page and black, so we need to do a clear page. This was a clear page here. So I hope everybody's doing good this morning. I've been sleeping a lot the last couple days. Not sure what's going on with me. Kind of glad I've got a doctor's appointment at the end of the week. All right, I'm just going to go back here. This is the tracing paper, and you can see how the edge is kind of chunky. I like how that looks. So let's do this page, and let's use whatever I grab here. I think this is a purple. And you could go around your tea bag shape from where you stuck your tea bag in here. Maybe add that. And remember, this is water soluble, so later this will do some freaky stuff. So we need to do one more page. Let's do this one here. And you can make as many or as few marks on your page as you want to. Oh, goodness. Well, I hope the visit to the dentist goes good for him. I have a dentist appointment at some point, but can I remember it? And did I write it on the calendar? And is it not until next year, or is it soon? I have no idea. I didn't put it on the calendar. So They call me though, you know. All right, so we've put some kind of water soluble something down. And you won't know what this will do until you start working on your pages. This is basically to break your journal in, get some marks and stuff on the page. So the next thing we have to do is, it says, gather up some paper, cutouts, decorative tapes, stickers, old postage stamps, or labels. And then just go through and stick them down willy-nilly, however. So I have, this is painty paper, and it's got a bunch of little bits and stuff in it. And I've got a box that's got used postage stamps in it. Here. And I'm going to get a glue stick. And if something comes loose, you can glue it down better later. You just basically want to stick stuff down. And it can be in any shape. Let's see here. I'm just got a stick of extreme tape. So I'm going to start with some papers. And you can do a color theme and get a color theme started on your page. I think I'm just going to grab some of these out, the smaller bits. And it looks like mostly blues, maybe a little orange. That'll get me started. So I'm going to glue some paper down. And they recommend you take just 5 minutes to do this, but we're just going to play and chit chat. So I may go longer than 5 minutes on a page. And I'm just going to tear some pieces of paper. And we'll just stick them down. Just like that. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I'm out of wax paper. And that's what I usually use to put my glue on with. I'll just grab a piece of paper out of here. Let's see. All right, this is just a piece of cream cardstock. It's not any good painty paper. We'll use it to glue on. Well, I hope everybody else is doing pretty good so far this morning. It was 48 degrees when we woke up this morning. And it's supposed to drop even lower by tomorrow. So hello, winter. I guess you could call it fall, but those temperatures are basically what we see in our winters. So we usually don't go much lower than about maybe 20 degrees here, if that. So we'll go through and we'll put some paper down, and then maybe we'll go back through and put some stamps on the page. And it really doesn't matter where you place anything right now, because this is like your background, okay? We'll see how these develop. Now, you might want to put something else on there. We could put a little bit of this tissue paper that's got the gold dots on it. Let's put some of that down. And I've told y'all before, there's always an ugly phase. When you're doing stuff like this, there'll always be some phase of it that it just looks ugly. But it works out in the end. I don't think I put any on that one. See if I can do it now. This is the PJ hour. Still in my PJs. All right. So let's turn to our next marker and we'll stick some things down. Hopefully this is not going to stick together. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So ooh, brr, 21 degrees. I see our friends in Canada and some parts of the United States have had snow. On the little news blips I get on the YouTube. Remember, you can put whatever you want on your page. I think this part is all about getting you to let go of that whole planning thing in your brain. It's to get you to accept that you can do things at very random method and it'll still look pretty in the end. But it's going to take some work to get there. And if you're doing this as daily practice and you only have a few minutes, you could go through and just glue some things down. And then on a day when you have a little bit more time, maybe you can look for things that sort of match, but you don't have to. You can just keep with the random and pull it all together in the very end. I want to cover up that white spot on here. All right, and then we'll turn to the back here where we got our next tab. And the reason they ask you to work, at different pages, at different parts of your book is so your book doesn't get all fat on one side. For anybody that's new to art journaling. And I figured if we picked 5 pages, we could do those 5 pages, and then you guys can take off and do the rest of your journal on your own as your daily practice. And you can set aside a time, like set 15 minutes aside to do some art journaling. Or you can do longer, depending on the time you have. But do something creative, at least 15 minutes a day. It really is good for your mental health to be creative. I think it's great that we have all these machines and things that do things for us, but your mind is meant to be creative. It really is. And you need to take the time to let it be creative. If you work a high pressure job, you really need art journaling. I'm just grabbing random now here. This one, I didn't even really look at it. I'm just going to glue it down. It'll all pull together in the end, I assure you. This book is all about play. Just let yourself go and play and just glue stuff to other stuff. Uh-oh. Somebody I watch that's into the whole play routine is Carolyn Dubie. Do y'all watch her? Carolyn's all about getting into your inner child and letting her out. Oh, I feel like this needs something else. Don't ask me why. I just do. Let's put a piece of this. You can make your whole journal one color theme, or you can pick a color scheme, like doing some complementary colors. Look up some color theory ideas, or get your color wheel out and pick out a couple colors from here and there. All right, this one says it wants to be on here, so we'll stick it on here. If it doesn't stick to this paper first. And also, if you want to make this a full spread, you can, or you could do individual pages. Like this could be one story to you, and this could be another. Let's go ahead and go to our next. Uh-oh. Of course, I probably don't need it now, but I'm going to put my little tab back in there. And come back here somewhere. I've marked a page. So here we've got one short page, one the size of the book. Hi, Dana. Good morning. Good morning. Did y'all see Lena's latest painting? I opened my phone this morning and that dog taking a poo and popped up, and I was like, only Lena would come up with this. And I even told her, only you could have a dog poo in silhouette on a beautiful background. Oh, Lena. That's Miss Lennox for anybody that doesn't know. I think it's Miss Lennox 2010. She cracks me up. I could go through and use all this paper in this pile and just get this book, started, but I figured we would do just the 5 pages together. And you can do as little or as much as you want. So this is kind of like the journaling by 5s, put a little bit of this, then do that kind of thing. Let's put this inside the spot where the tea bag was. So quiet here once Scott's gone to work and Greg's sleeping and the cats are all conked out because it's too cold to be awake. And then we'll go back to our back page here. We'll stick some more of this stuff down. And I'm not even caring if I get the words upside down. And I saw Carol got to meet Devin up in Canada, which I thought was awesome. They went to lunch together. And then Carol posted pictures of her dog, her dog and her son's dog, and they were all in costumes. I think Carol's dog was playing Piglet. It was cute. Let's use some of this pretty orange in here. And of course, everything's sticking to me. And I'm just going to sacrifice this piece of cardstock to the glue gods here. Since I'm making a royal mess of it. And we'll put the other piece on this other page. I can hear them moving the trains about over at the train yard this morning. We used to, when Greg was little, we would take him and we'd sit and watch the trains, and they would toot the horn for him and he'd just squeal. All right, let's go back to the beginning, to our first page. And let's put some postage stamps on here. Let's see. I'm just going to grab some randomly and glue them down. The reason I hate glue sticks is they make such a sticky mess, and my fingers get all sticky, and I really don't like that. Which way? Here. It's this one. These are not meant to be your focal images. These will all get kind of pushed back in the background, so don't worry if they aren't 100% match at this point. I'm trying to grab this one. My fingers are so coated in glue, I'm picking up like 5 times the number of stamps as I need to. And we'll go back here. We'll put some stamps on this page. That Scar. Wasn't that the name of the bad lion in Lion King, was Scar? It's been a long time since I watched Lion King. Hello, Darlene. Good morning. I got to get a wet one, you guys. This is really, I just can't. Plus my leg, I was sitting on my leg and I need to get some blood into my foot. Oh, I hate glue on my fingers. Oh. I remember when my son was in kindergarten and he wanted absolutely no part of finger painting because he didn't want to get his hands dirty at all. And they would say, he just won't participate. And I'm like, he doesn't want to get his hands dirty. It's not that he doesn't want to participate. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. I told Greg, I said, I think they're expecting you to get your hands dirty. It's okay. They'll wash. He said, I don't like the feeling of that paint. It's weird. It's squishy. It's going to come loose. This is a cool stamp. If I can get it, it's a Canadian stamp. Ugh. Oh. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those journals where we do every page together. This is an art journal to get y'all art journaling. It's not meant to be a full-on project. So we'll do some 5 pages doing some of the stuff in the book. And then I'm going to leave it up to you guys how you develop your book. And if you need ideas for daily journaling, you need to follow Gina. She posts every day. I see her stuff every day. Okay, that's really wet now. Okay, let's go to the next page and see. Stick some things here. I really hate glue sticks. Okay, two stamps want to be stuck down, so we'll do that. 2 stamps. It's not really liking the brown paper for some reason. All right, now let's peek at our book. We've put a few stamps here and there. I made this box on chipboard. Ta-da! All right, then it says, okay, we're going to save that project for another day. We could add some washi tape. Let me put this paper back. There's a technique in here that we're going to do another day because I don't want to get any wet medium out today. We could just leave it at this, but let me see what's next. We'll come back to step 3. Step 3 is really about making an additional component of your own. So let's look at our book here. I'll turn it so you guys get it right side up here. So here's my page 1 that I've done so far. I'm going to try to get the glue off the tops of the paper that I just glued down so that it doesn't stick together. I am out of wax paper. And see, I'm moving some of that blue around by using the wet one. And then the second page we did was on black. See, I wiped some of my white off with the baby wipe. And then here we go. Clean these up a little bit. If you wanted to, you could, just spray your pages a little bit with some water and try to activate some of your watercolor. This is meant to be a book you play in. it's not really meant to be really structured. It's meant to play. Like you could practice your color themes, do up like little blocks and paint in your colors. So that'll get us going. And I think that's where we'll stop for today. So y'all do that part. I might actually, well, I'm not going to spray mine right now because my glue will not be stuck if I spray it with water now. But if you have some sprays or something like that, if you want to spray your background, you can. I have some Ken Oliver's things that I could sprinkle on here. Maybe I'll do something. Let's do something with those. If you don't have them, you could just put some paint on. I really didn't want to pull out paint, but I'm just thinking of ways that you could add a little something to this. Actually, let me just get a paintbrush and we'll move some of our background that we put down to begin with. Let me grab a paintbrush and some water. At 1 o'clock, I'm planning to come back on, and we're going to do our last page in the autumn journal. I just got some water in this pot that I picked up at the Goodwill. We'll just move some of our colored pencil around. This is why it doesn't matter how you put your pencil down, because as you put something on top of it, it'll move it around. All right, I'm going to dry this a little in between. So good morning to Ann. I saw you slip in. Peg's got to go. Okay. You have a wonderful day, Peg. I'll dry this a little bit here. And then we'll go back to this other page we chose to do. It's really important that when you're working in your journal, don't do it in order. Jump around in your book, just so you don't get a book that's all fat on, only one side. I'm just trying to get some of this white paint pen or watercolor pencil to move a little bit here. Okay, then we'll dry it a little bit. And you can, if you look at what you've glued onto your page already, you can kind of pick up some color clues as to where to move forward with your art journal pages. Because if you look in this one, you could add more orange. There's a touch of red and there's pinks, and pull some of those colors out. And in this one, there's some blue, some orange, and some green together. And on this page, it's all blue and orange and maybe purple. Let's see what we've got on this next page that we did. We need to move some of our yellow around. And there's yellow and green and blues on this page. You can carry some of that color from that pencil over onto the stuff you've already glued down too, to spread it around a little. Then I'll dry this page. Next time I come to do something for this, we're going to need a big piece of brown paper. Now you can use the brown paper that comes in your Amazon packages. You can use a brown paper bag. You can use a brown envelope. Just something that's that brown. You could use some craft cardstock. That would be fine. And you'll need some black ink or paint and a very long handled paintbrush. If your paintbrush doesn't have a really long handle, you can rubber band it to a pencil to make it longer. And that's what we're going to work the next thing we do. Now this piece of tracing paper I used really has a weird texture, and everything I'm using on it acts different on here than it does on the other pages. It's kind of weird. Now, if you don't want to do your journal like I'm doing this one, and you want to break away right now and just use your journal any way you want to, feel free. I'm not going to hold you to doing what I'm doing. I just thought this would be fun, and Dee Dee encouraged me to come on and do some of this with you guys. And I will put a link to the book that I'm using in the description box, because I think it's a very good tool for anybody wanting to get started in art journaling. I am not affiliated with the author or any of that. And I know they have full-on classes using this. I just want to get you started. Kind of you're jumping off into the next step. Now, even though I've activated those pencils, if you put something else wet on them, they could come again. So last time looking at the 5 pages, and I'm going to sign off. And I would encourage you, if you're playing along, to go ahead and work on your 5 pages if you haven't worked along with me this morning. So what we did is we used some kind of water-soluble medium, no wax, just something that'll move with water. You can use water-soluble crayons, watercolors, even if you wanted to, if you don't have pencils. The whole thing in the book was to use some kind of pencil of some sort, but use what you have and add a little something with the pencil, and then go through with whatever scraps you have. You can use whatever's on your desk and glue them on very randomly. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Dawn. And then use your used postage stamps. You can use washi tape, anything you have that could be just kind of stuck down, do not think of your stamps as being something that's going to be seen. They could get totally pushed to the background as we work on these 5 pages. And you will add a focal image later. So don't marry yourself to these are going to show, because they might not. Okay. So glue those down and then maybe activate whatever you put down to start with. And I used watercolor pencil. If you've got something else you'd like in your background, like I said, the Tim Oliver dust, you can spray your page and sprinkle some of those on. But again, those are water soluble and they're going to move if you put something wet on top of them. All right. So that's what we did this morning. I don't want these videos to be really long because I want you guys to play along. So I will show you the book I'm working from, but we are not going to do all of the techniques in the book because that's not fair to the author. She put a lot of hard work in this beautiful book. This book is one of those, you can't put it down. The tactile feel of it is amazing. But it's Creative Wanderlust by Kezia Avery. I'm probably saying her name wrong, and I'm sorry. So she comes up with some beautiful pages. And like I said, next time we get together, you're going to need some black paint or ink and a long-handled brush. And we will play with that next time to make our own kind of ephemera. All right. So I will see you at 1 o'clock today to finish our autumn journal up. We're going to finish that today. And that's it. So everybody have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.